Christians, theologically trained thinkers, take the position that simply because somebody desires to do something doesn't necessarily make it right. But I don't understand you to be taking this position.
I think we're overlooking a very important key in this thing. One of the basic things that we have argued against is the notion that in our particular concept of a free society, with the emphasis that is placed in America on the separation of church and state, that the notion of sin or predicating these social sexual taboos on any kind of religious concept, that this is not a proper approach in a society in which that is supposed to be pluralistic and supposed to be secular. It doesn't mean that each particular religious denomination can't come up with their own particular evaluation of sin as they see it, but I don't think that sin should have any particular place in secular society as such, because it's a religious concept and should remain there.
Gentlemen, we'll pursue this point further after this brief interruption.
We live in a culture that is absolutely saturated with the unveiled. From social media feeds to billboards, the message is constant. Freedom equals exposure, and attraction is measured by visibility. But if you're a man of faith or a woman seeking a man of faith, you know deep down that this all-access culture is actually eroding something precious. Today I want to talk about a topic that's often misunderstood, sometimes controversial, but deeply liberating. Why modesty is actually one of the most attractive qualities a woman can possess. At Pax and Ponder, we talk about radiating truth, and the truth is, modesty isn't a list of restrictions or a shaming mechanism. It's an invitation to a deeper, more intimate form of beauty. Let's take a look at the why behind the Church's teaching. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 2522 says, "Modesty protects the mystery of persons and their love. It encourages patience and moderation in loving relationships. It requires that the conditions for the definitive giving and commitment of man and woman to one another be fulfilled. Modesty is decency. It inspires one's choice of clothing. It keeps silent or reserve where there is evident risk of unhealthy curiosity. It is discreet." To a man who is actually looking for a partner for the journey to heaven, that mystery is magnetic. It signals self-respect, and there is nothing more alluring than a woman who knows her own value. The Holy of Holies, intimacy. There's a practical side to this too. Modesty preserves intimacy. Think, back in the ancient temple, the Holy of Holies wasn't veiled because it was shameful or ugly. It was veiled because it was the most sacred place on earth. It was reserved for the high priest alone. In this sacred garden of marriage, modesty creates the same kind of space when a woman keeps her more intimate features for her husband's eyes only. It elevates intimacy for a casual encounter to a sacred exchange. It tells the husband, "This part of me isn't for the world to ogle. It's a gift kept specifically for you." That exclusivity creates a bond that sexy trends can never touch. It fosters a sense of belonging that is the bedrock of a healthy domestic church. Now, I want to speak to the men for a second. We talk a lot about the shield here at Pax and Ponder's study series Forge and Shield. God built us with a natural protective instinct. When everything is on display, it triggers what the church calls the lust of the eyes. While every man is responsible for his own thoughts, the reality is the modern world can be predatory. A woman's modesty is a sign that she honors a man's role as protector. It allows him to focus on her heart, her mind, her soul, rather than having to constantly guard her against the visual consumption of every stranger on the street. Paradoxically, modesty makes a man want to protect a woman more because he sees her as a treasure to be cherished, not a product to be advertised. I want to end with a sympathetic word. To the women watching, we know the pressure is immense. You're told that showing skin is the only way to be powerful or desirable. But we're not here to point fingers or cast shame. Modesty isn't about telling you that your body is bad. It's about telling you that you're so good, you're so sacred, that you deserve to be treated with reverence. And to the men, resolve to be the kind of protectors who honor modesty. Train your eyes to seek the radiant heart over the sensual image. True attraction happens when we stop elevating a person as a collection of parts and start seeing them as a mystery to be pondered. Thanks for joining me here in the Scriptorium today. If this resonated with you, head over to the blog at paxandponder.com and read the full article. Keep pondering, keep radiating, peace be with you.